esteemed guests? Do we invite them here in front?
Pwede na, okay na.
Okay.
Ito pala. So, pasensya na, dapat pala hindi mo na natin ang ating magbisita. Tinatawagan po muli natin si Secretary Avalos, si Executive Director Francis Fajardo, Mr. Rich Thompson, and Mr. Don Ferguson to join us in the Rossington stage. But this time, they'll be here on our very nice setup.
Very nice indeed. At syempre, host ng talk show na yan.
Ako, ito na. Ikaw na sa akin kung talaga na matatalihan ng taon na ako. Ako magpa-fan mo nila Okay. Once again, if we welcome our speakers on stage, let's give them a round of applause. Gentlemen, please make yourselves comfortable. Dito na sa dulo, I'll stay at the very end. Right. Yes, sir. Please, take a seat, sir.
We would like to invite Undersecretary Lord Villanueva to join us here in front for our mini talk show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Secretary Avalos had to rush. As you all know, he's a very busy man. But we are graced with the presence of Undersecretary Villanueva to represent Secretary Avalos. Palakpakan po natin siya. He is speaking for Secretary Avalos. Yes, we would like to request Executive Director Mr. Francis Fajardo to join us on stage as well.
Okay. I know this mini talk show is going to be informative, insightful, but we can also make it light and fun. Right? What an honor being in the midst of all these leaders, all of these gentlemen in their respective fields, Apollo.
That's right. Gentlemen, please, let's all sit down. Sorry. Undersecretary Villanueva, simulan ko na po ang papatanong. What steps can be taken to ensure the full implementation of phases 2 and 3 of the revitalized 911 so that all Filipinos can benefit from its nationwide rollout? Kasi syempre at this point, it's all plans, right? Of course, we want to bring it to fruition.
Thank you for the question. Crucial here is the involvement of the local governments. Because the National 911 Office, of course, cannot handle it alone. The way this is done in places like the United States is that 911 is a decentralized affair. Each local government, each jurisdiction will have its own local call center, local answering point, and usually the calls, pag dumadating sa mga local call centers, do not have a call. It's from these local call centers that emergency response is usually directed. So the eventual goal of 911 is to have that kind of decentralization where each local government has its own emergency command center that can accept calls and from there already direct calls accordingly. So the role of the 911 going forward will be to educate these local call centers to maintain standards and to sort of manage the whole process. So that decentralized vision is what we see how this can be done. Because just to manage everyone's expectations, it's really not feasible for the long term for all the calls, emergency calls within the entire country to be handled by a single national command center. That's just not the way it's done even in other countries. It has to be decentralized to ensure full implementation effectively.
So it should be localized.
Yes.
For now, it's centralized, but like we said, sir, it's critical that all the local government units participate, and then in the future, this will be localized. In the city.
Nagsimula na yung process ngayon, so there are various local governments that already have their own emergency call centers. Pero as of now, iba-iba yung standards nila, and many of them don't use the 911 number. So definitely it's time to sort of unify all of that and create sort of a national standard. If I may mention, in the US, this process took over 30 years. If I recall correctly, Don can correct me on that, but I remember this was started in the 1970s, and it was about maybe 30 years later when they had 90% implementation. So it took decades to develop that kind of system in the US. So in a way, we've sort of leapfrogged that using the experience in the US, and we're achieving hopefully much faster progress.
Well, sir, I can only say I think many Filipinos will be praying for the success of this program, of course, because ultimately it's for the good of all of us, right?
Something that takes time, but I guess it's never too late to start, right?
That's right.
You're starting that right here. Pero matanong ko natin ngayon kay Director Fajardo. Director, we have been mentioning the PNP all throughout this program. What was the reason why the PNP was selected as the first bureau to be a part of the 911 Revitalization Initiative?
First of all, the PNP National Police is the primary responder of the 911 National Program. That's why we chose the PNP, and based on the data, most or majority are asking for police assistance. That's why ang PNP ang pinili natin itong revitalize na yun.
Yung nakita natin sa video kanina, Director, yung 40% ay kailangan ng police assistance. Pero if I may add, ano pa yung mga bureaus or commissions na tina-target natin to join the National 911 Program, maybe in the future?
Siguro itong Philippine Commission on Women and the Department of Education para to educate natin sa schools na itong 911 program natin ay effective na at mas mabilis na kasi yung mga minors sa violence control natin, alam naman natin ang crime and registry. So they have the opportunity to go to silang venue to call 911 and ma-report na yung mga pwede ng accident.
I think that's very important, no? That it starts with the school, because how can you ask for help if you don't know that you can ask for help in the first place and you have people to ask for help from? Thank you so much, Director.
Information dissemination will also be critical. Kung hindi mo alam kung regular Filipino citizen, hindi mo alam na it's at the tip of your finger, so you can, it's easy to access. I'd like to ask at this point, Mr. Don Ferguson. Sir, what inspired you to introduce this US-based emergency response system in the Philippines? And what do you think is your competitive edge of your system in the emergency response market, or what it brings to the Philippines now?
So, the inspiration of bringing it to the Philippines is very important. Where is Ishka Villas Cisneros? Ishka, where are you at? If you could stand up. Ishka is somewhere around here. Ishka is our CFO of NGA in the United States. We started deploying the next generation of 911, which will not take decades to deploy. It will be a matter of a few years that we're fully deployed. Because we packaged all that learning in the United States and we brought it over to the Philippines. So the Philippines is the beneficiary of all the knowledge and all the mistakes that were made in the US already done, and the Philippines gets to start from there. So really it started for us with winning several contracts in the United States, including the state of California, starting that implementation, turning up sites, Ishka seeing how valuable this service was to the United States. So we're actually upgrading the old legacy American 911 system to next gen. Ishka grabbing by the neck or the short hairs, whatever, said we got to go to the Philippines. She loves her country and made sure that we started this process here about 5 years ago.
Amen, sir. Thank you. Sir, a quick follow-up. Just like what Undersecretary Villanueva said, it will be critical that we're starting it first centralized, but then sooner or later it has to be localized in all the MLDs. So, sir, my question is, how will NGA 911 ensure consistent emergency response across all the LGUs from cities to small municipalities? Or what are the problems that you foresee that you might have to deal with?
So, consistent response has many dimensions to it. I think it starts with a highly reliable and resilient network, and that's where the collaboration across many stakeholders takes hold. And Mitch with PLDT has been a great partner, and this is where the resilient network will make sure that delivery, it starts with the network. Fundamentally, that your network is resilient, it stays up, and it's always there to deliver and connect responders together with callers. That's where it starts. And then, given that you have a strong network, then on top of that, you have our applications which allow for inheriting the procedures and processes in the US into the Philippines. So you can actually, because all the LGUs and all the responders are now interconnected on a national LESINet, where they can instantly communicate and share information, you then get your consistency. So it starts with the network, and then applications running on top of that network. And I understand Mitch is going to talk a lot about that this afternoon.
No, but sir, I like what you said, that it's important that the tools should be working, right? And now the partnership will be able to all know that, well, the setup has to be, in good order so that we can do this program without any glitches.
So there's just one piece that precedes the network and the applications. It's the vision to bring this to the country. And that's the idea.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'm very happy that Don touched up on this earlier. You mentioned Mr. Mitch Toxin of LDT at para sa inyo nga po ang susunod pinagdaraw. In the subject of network, as Don mentioned, I want to ask how PLDT intends to coordinate with local government units and of course the other stakeholders to ensure a smooth and efficient rollout, of course, of this 911 service.
Thank you. So, it's always been our chairman's vision in PLDT. We apologize he couldn't attend and meet personally today. But he plays a big role, he wants to play a big role in nation building. And second, because we're in telecommunications and ICT, like PLDT Group, we're tagged already as public service. It is our goal to actually make sure of two things for the emergency 911. First is, we have a dedicated government team, a CRM team, that's scattered all over the country. And we have given our promise to the Secretary and to Executive Director of our to actually help educate and disseminate the information on the emergency 911. Besides them, activating majority of the LGUs, whether it starts with the provincial government, the city mayors or the municipality mayors, we will also enable their people on how to handle basically the technology and the platforms that we're going to bring in with NGA 911. That's the first, right? So we're going to continue to push this forward. We're going to have roadshows, we're going to put this out in broadsheets and hopefully in TV as well, so that we can actually make sure that we cover majority of the LGUs as fast as we can. The second one is the infrastructure that Don mentioned a while ago. I was quite amazed actually when Don visited our office, because traditionally we would provide a second backup. It would be the primary telco, we would have a secondary telco as a different telco as a backup. But the platform that Don is bringing in actually has a third resiliency, a third backup, which is really using satellite to ensure that no matter what type of calamity or emergency happens, that it could always be up and we could always support the government and the Filipino people.
Very well said. And Apollo, you can really see, that it takes a village to make this project happen. A lot of local government units, the PLDT, the NGA 911 working hand in hand to make this one a possibility.
You said you need to comprehend that. That was my thought exactly. this is cooperation and teamwork on a very large, on a national scale. Like what you said, we need leadership with a vision that starts with the LG and Secretary Arrows, of course. The idea generation of Ghana. And from there, it trickles down. You put it into action, and then, of course, you have all the players with all the tools that have to work for it to succeed.
Takes a village to make it happen. Pero daanan natin sila kami. Sino ang next natin ako?
Well, wala sa plano ito, no? Ito, personal inspiration. Hindi ko alam kung magkakalit sila sa akin. Is there a question from the audience na gusto nyo pa itanong sa ating mga bisita? Meron po ba tanong?
Don't be shy.
Raise your hand, I will run to you. And then you can ask your question. Huwag tayo nahiya. Meron po ba?
Apollo will run to you.
Meron. Gusto na. Ito na from the horse's mouth. Ito na yung mga big time natin, mga bisita na makakit sa pag-usip ng mga questions or concerns. Meron ba? Is there anybody?
According to our director, wala na daw press one. So, wala na daw press one. So, we have to ask questions here. Tama ba?
Meron po ba? Is that right? Oh, yun na. So, if there are any questions, let's okay. Well, if there are no questions, can we please give a big round of applause to our 4 resource speakers here on stage. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being so accommodating.